This is the Bookend podcast, and back again we've got Klaire.
Hello.
It's great to have you back.
No, it's nice to be back. I can't even remember when we did the last one.
All I remember is it was a lot warmer than it currently is.
Oh yeah, no, it was
beautiful, wasn't it?
It was summer. I'm pretty sure it was summertime.
Yeah, it was either late May or possibly early June.
Yeah, I think it was May around, but I can't remember, but it was definitely a lot warmer and a lot lighter because now it's dark. But yeah, no, I'm happy to be back.
Yeah, no,
I'm looking forward to it.
It's great to have you back.
Yeah.
And we obviously, the last episode focused a lot more on Kabayan.
Yeah.
And obviously we did touch a little bit on Klaire herself.
Yeah.
And the person behind Kabayan.
Yeah.
But I think this episode, we've both agreed it would be nice to almost just focus on Klaire herself.
Yeah, like more personal, my own experiences, and like it's quite good that I'm actually messaging and said, you know what, I want to do another episode on success, because it really resonated with me, and it kind of like, I know that it meant so much to me. I know it's going to mean quite a lot for other people when they listen to it. So yeah, no, I want to discuss and talk about it, and like what I've been up to ever since, you know, our first podcast, because I feel like so much has happened. Actually, it's crazy. It's only been a few months, but a lot of things have changed for me. That I want to share.
Yeah, so. And I think based on what you sent me, there has been a lot of changes. Yep. So, I mean, you ready to go straight into it?
Yeah, I'm ready.
We've both made promises to ourselves that we're going to keep tangents to a minimum.
Yeah, because we want to address good stuff.
Yeah, I mean, there are good tangents as well, but this stuff Klaire said she wants to talk about. So if we do run off, if I run off, if Klaire runs off, then we'll make a promise.
Make sure we go back
to the topic.
Yeah. Great.
But yeah, so I mean, do you want to fill, I guess, myself and everyone else listening in on what's happened since we last spoke to you?
Yeah, so obviously when I did my podcast, I was on furlough, and kind of like put my time and attention to Kabayan Crafts, my own small business, and that furlough ended after like almost a year, or possibly a year and a bit. So it was quite a long time doing my own bit, and I came back for a good month or so doing my events role, which I, to be honest, really enjoyed. I learned so much from this role in terms of like meeting so many different people, you know, all the skills that you don't gain that from anywhere else, from your own experience. And yeah, it's just unfortunately, like, I woke up one day and something just sticked and said, I think you need a new adventure, you need to go somewhere else, because frankly enough, it just wasn't giving me happiness anymore. I wasn't happy at where I was. I feel like I could do more. So I braved it, after like coming back a few more months, getting what I needed from that place. I decided it's time for me to go, it's time for me to leave. And yeah, of course it was scary. I was like, I'm leaving a place that I was comfortable, you know, I was comfortable there. I know the ins and outs of the place. I was well known there. I kind of know the daily task now and the routines, and I was doing a really good job. But yeah, because it's no longer like, I feel like I've taken everything from that place. So I've left. I've handed in my notice. Obviously a lot of people's opinions coming in, good and bad ones actually, not all just bad, but the ones that struck to me closely, because it's kind of like we said before, it made kind of like solidify my decision that okay, I'm making the right choice here. Obviously it was like, they asked me, oh, so what's your plan? What's your next plan B? What are you going to go into next? And at that moment, because I had nothing to fall back on then, it was literally, I'm removing myself from this place, and then I'm on to my next adventure. I'm on to like my next journey. And all I could say was that, oh, nothing yet. And the faces, when the people's faces, like I saw, and what they said is like, oh, I know that stuck to me was, why are you leaving a job where you've got nothing to fall back on? And things like, are you sure you want to do that? And, you know, those questions. And I'm like, yeah, because obviously it's scary, but this is what I want to do. I know that I can do this. And it's almost like your mindset telling you, it's fine. It's, you know, it's going to be like a blank face. It's going to be a blank canvas, but that's what makes it exciting, because, you know, you can write your own next journey.
Write your own next journey.
Yeah.
I love that. And those questions though, because I imagine, because it is, some of them will highlight specifically, but I guess the more sort of general ones are, you know, what are you doing? Like, you haven't got anything lined up. Did they make you question your decision further?
Yeah, actually, no, it did. So at the time, obviously, I was hearing so many different opinions. I was like, okay, I questioned myself as well. Am I making the right decision? Can I actually do this? Because obviously, a lot of people just, with the current climate as well and what we're going through, it's hard to find a job. It's, you know, financial crisis, all of that. And I understand, obviously, for some people that they may think I don't know if this is the right word, but maybe selfish for.
I wouldn't. I wouldn't describe it. If I don't think selfish is the right word. Possibly reckless.
Yeah. No. Maybe that would be better.
But equally though, it sounds like you realised you wasn't happy, and you did mention that it was almost you woke up one day and you were like, I've had enough. Was it as, because that's almost like what you'd see in a film.
No.
If it's just instantaneous. Was there moments before that where it entered your mind?
Actually, yeah, it was obviously like a few moments, and I've been thinking about it already before. Obviously, I handed in my notice. I've given it a chance. That's the thing. The fact is, I don't just quit straight away without giving it a chance and without telling myself, okay, are you sure you want to do this? But actually, there's been a few moments at work and outside of work that's made me realize, okay, yeah, I think this is a sign. I'm gonna make this decision and I'm ready to do it. And yeah, like, you know what? I'm happy I took that leap of faith. I don't regret ever quitting that job, because it's made me who I am now, and I'm so much happier. I'm currently in a beautiful role, beautiful job with beautiful people, and I'm just so happy. So yeah, like, yeah, I'm glad I made that right decision. Although it's scary at first, you just have to, you know, take it, and you don't know where it's gonna take you. So yeah, I feel like I'm like solid on that decision. But yeah, obviously it's quite hard, because you hear other people's opinions, you hear other people's, like, I wanted to touch on this comment like we discussed before. Really, really struck me, because it's almost like sensitive and also personal. What was it again? It was.
Do you want me to read it out for you?
Yes, please.
So it's quite. I'll read the whole lot of it, because I think it encompasses a lot of the sort of negativity I imagine was being thrown at you. So this was it. So why are you leaving a job when you have nothing to fall back on? I know we all want time to exercise, to spend time with family, but we can't make bracelets all of our life. It was wow.
Yeah, no, that was said to me in person as well, face to face. Yes, it was.
No.
No, it was. We were in the office. I'm going to keep it to myself because I respect this person a lot, but we were in the office and it was a few days before I was actually leaving. And that was said to me just a few days before. And I understand it could be a reason, a way for me to make me stay at my current job, which I understand. Obviously, a lot of businesses are short staffed at the moment. They need resources, and I understand that. But it's that comment that stuck to me that made me feel, actually, no, I'm gonna prove you wrong. Like it almost like fueled me to be like, I'm gonna prove you wrong. I'm gonna do my best to be successful in my own way, and also. It's the make bracelets for the rest of your life, because you don't belittle someone else's passion. You don't belittle someone else's. If they're happy at that place, that they've already won. They're already winning because they're happy and they love what they're doing. And that's success in its own thing, I think.
I think that particular that particular element of that comment that really struck me as And maybe it wasn't as nasty as it sounds. However, when you sort of read that through and you pick it apart, you realise, yes, so you can obviously see that there's something Claire's really passionate about, and again, we're not going to get sidetracked going into Combine too much, but I think particularly the way in which you've conducted yourself in that, like the fact that you donate your profits towards charities that are meaningful to you.
I was going to mention that
you do all these great things with it, and it's about your culture in many ways as well, sort of representing that and being proud of it. And for someone to come up with a comment like that, I think that hit me hard. And the thing is, when I heard it didn't even upset me. I think that's the good thing about it, is the fact that whatever comment you throw at me, it didn't upset me, because I know that I did something good from it. So people can say we can't make bracelets, earrings all our lives because it's not going to earn us millions, but I ended up donating money for children to feed them, and that's not me bragging that I did that. It's because you can do so many little things. By all means, brag away, because it's fantastic. It is fantastic. I mean, I think that's oftentimes people can respond like that to someone doing something good, and oftentimes it's because they're doing nothing themselves. And they just want to say, look at Claire posting about how much good she's done. That's great. Instead of you belittling her, why don't you feel inspired to go and do something yourself?
Exactly. Or support. And exactly. Just do something good as well. But so obviously from that comment, I took that away. I took it almost like a motivation and a drive for me to be like, you know what, I'm gonna do something better, I'm gonna do something good that I know people will take a look at that, like, oh, I want to do what she's done, or I want to aspire to be like this person, where she doesn't take people's opinions I don't know, like a setback or almost like a doubt in herself. She uses that as a drive to do better. And that's exactly what I did. I then obviously had a moment to myself to kind of look for a new job, look for a new role, and obviously with events will still hold a special place in my heart because I just love it anyway. But I've started to move on to marketing and sales and just pushing myself further to do something good. And I did. I found some new roles, applied to so many of them, got some rejections, but these rejections that you'll always receive them. You just have to just take it, learn from it. There's also some roles that I had to turn down because it wasn't for me, and it's hard. Obviously it's hard when you're looking for a new role and you're desperate to just move that one step further, and it's right there. It's literally we're offering this role to you, we want you, and you're actually this doesn't feel right for me, with all the things that you've researched, company culture, everything about what you're gonna do on every day. If it doesn't feel right for you, don't take it, because I was thinking, right, I can grab this now and I'll get a new role and it pays well as well, really good money, but it doesn't feel right for me, so I had to turn it down. And I think that's so brave almost to be no.
It is so brave, and I think as well, not many people would have the confidence to do that. But it sounds like you knew the kind of place that you wanted, and
definitely.
You mentioned before we were recording that the vibe was just something about it as well, not just necessarily the working hours, but it was just you couldn't see it as your place.
Exactly. It just, I feel when you try to almost imagine how it would go, because of course you need to play it in your head, but it didn't sit well with me, so again said no, continued to find a better place, a better role, and luckily I did find a really nice role, really nice place, something I know. As soon as I saw it, I knew this was it. It's creative, it's challenging, I see myself doing it, and I got the interview, I got to the second stage and all that, and finally I got the job. And honestly, I'm just so happy that I took it and I found these people, because now I enjoy going to work every day. Do you know how waking up in the morning on a Monday morning already is tough already, but the fact is you know what you're doing and you're enjoying it, and the people you're meeting, you enjoy being with them. And I think that's the most important thing actually in all workplaces. Obviously it's, you know, you have to balance about your salary, money, the business or the title, but I think it's really down to the people. I know that sounds so, but it's down to the people that you spend your time with every day. Because I go to work, we talk about our personal life, we talk about work, we talk about exciting ideas, and then we enjoy and the thing is we enjoy our lunchtime. And when I mean enjoy, we would sit there and watch Disney. We would sit there and watch Ratatouille, and that's how great it is, because it's like you just switch off and then you work hard, and then you ask about each other's how's your weekend, and you don't just small talk as well.
Yeah, you genuinely want
care.
to know. Yeah.
And I think that's why, like I'm getting all like excited.
No, I love it, and I don't think many people have found their place like you have, and you can really tell from the way you're smiling and the way you're talking about it, about how, I guess, it sounds at home you are.
I do, I actually do feel so at home there, because obviously luckily enough I just found these people, and like we're quite lucky because we're kind of like similar ages, so we all have similarities, differences, and we all discuss our own personal life. But I mean, I'm so happy at where I am at the moment. I honestly can't ask for anything better, because it's not just about what I do, it's also how they treat us, like obviously our bosses, and like they do value our family time as well, because it's a family owned business. And for example, Christmas time, we actually get from Christmas Eve off until the 3rd of January.
Wow.
See, this is what I mean.
Whereas I think most offices would be
open
saying,
after...
look, come in for a few days and we can sort of stay on top of it. But they're saying, look, this time's sacred.
Yeah, it's a Christmas time for family to enjoy, for you to just spend time with your family or do whatever you want. And I think it's so special to have that. So that's such a big pros for me, because I'm a family person anyway. But yeah, no, I'm just so happy at where I am now. But the thing is, this is what I mean, Sam, like if I didn't leave my old job, I wouldn't be here. I wouldn't know that this is gonna happen. So yeah, like I just hope, obviously, like people who are afraid to leave their current job because they need money, and I have discussed this with my other friends before and my other colleagues. They said, oh, but I need the money, Claire. I can't leave this job because I need to. I know money is important, especially now, but is money gonna be there if you're not happy? Like, do you know, like I feel like there's always ways around to earn money. Sell old stuff from eBay, I don't know, like all the little things that you can get like on the side. But at the end of the day, your happiness is so important, because once you're happy, you can do like so many good things for other people, for yourself. You can help others as well along the way. And I think that is why when I was doing combined crafts, I was enjoying what I was doing, and in the end I helped other people across the world, in my hometown. So yeah,
and it's effortless as well. I think when you know what you're doing is genuinely good and genuinely something you enjoy, it's effortless. It
doesn't feel like a chore. It doesn't feel like, oh, I have to wake up and do this. Like I all the time I have a smile on my face, like, and I enjoy what I'm doing.
I guess it sounds like it's a shift from I have to do this to I'm able to do this.
Yeah, and
I get to do this, and I want to do this. I have the opportunity.
I get to do this. Exactly. But yeah, no, I think like I just want to really put that message for people out there that if you're scared to change direction, or I don't know, just leave a place that you're comfortable at, but you know it's right, do it. I know it's easier said than done, but you will kick yourself if you don't. But you will not regret it. You will not, like, because there's always something better, and there's always something good that will come out of it. Yeah, okay, for example, if it didn't work out well and there's challenges that you think, oh, I shouldn't have let my old job, but you wouldn't learn all these things now that you've learned.
I question as well. So obviously,
yeah.
Someone you've landed, you found like the perfect job, but someone might do this and might not. However, I'd suggest actually even had you ended up at a sort of a similar job or somewhere you didn't quite like, probably through that action itself, through that bravery, yes, you might have ended up in another job you're not too happy about.
Yeah.
However, that confidence, that bravery to actually, and to feel empowered to go, actually, sod this job, I'll look for another one. And I think actually, so even if you are in that situation where you absolutely hate your job and you might not land on the right one, almost through that action to take that step, you're actually guiding yourself towards a much better place.
Exactly.
So you might not get lucky the first time, as Klaire has, because I think you have. It does sound like there is always an element of luck.
Yeah.
And as well, someone's situation might have been the case of when those offers came across.
Yeah.
They might not have had the opportunity to reject them. They might have just had to go, do you know what, the vibe's not there.
Exactly.
But I'm going to try. However, I think it's almost actually less about the outcome and more about the action.
Yeah. I think so. No, it's true. It's always about like what you do. Because I was saying about this to myself like earlier. No,
why I don't know why this surprises me, but yeah, go on.
No, but it's like it's a domino effect. It's like all the different things that you do, even just like little things during the day, it actually paints like a bigger picture in the end. Everything else makes sense in the end. So even if, for example, I just want to like put things into perspective, like if you can't be bothered to do, in terms of my fitness journey, sometimes I'm like, I can't be bothered to do a workout. I may not be able to do like a full on 30-minute workout. I'll just do like a 5-minute workout. I've done that 5 minutes. You may not think that that's adding into any, I don't know, like an overall goal or outcome, but you like pushed yourself to do an exercise that's good for your health and well-being. That's a pat on the back. That's already like well done for actually getting yourself out of bed, for putting your active wear on and working out, even if it's like 5 to 10 minutes. So I'm
fully with you. And the difficulty is though, and I've experienced this a bit, is you'll be like, but what's the point if it's only 5 minutes? However, I think it's almost chips away at that mindset. It chips away at that mindset that says, actually, regardless of what my head's saying, I'm going to show up.
Yeah.
And almost actually, the more you do that, the more you actually go, actually, next time I hear from you, I'm gonna do what I want to do.
Yeah. No, it's hard. You know, like, that's what I wanted to like write down in my notes. It's about mindset, and it's so true. And like your mind is so powerful. If you say to your mind, and I know it's like explaining the obvious or stating the obvious, but if you say to yourself, I don't know, like there's no point, like I'm just gonna fail at it. No, like if you put the negatives there straight away, that's gonna be ingrained in your mind and think, that's it, just give up, just scroll mindlessly on your phone on Instagram or TikTok and spend like a good hour. Whereas if you're like, all right, you know what, let's do this, push yourself, just do 5 minutes. And even that 5 minutes, which I've done in my own experience before, that turned into like 15 minutes of workout, because you're enjoying what you're doing, and then that's it. The next thing you know, you've done it, and that an hour or 15 minutes that went, you could just like be scrolling on your phone, you've actually done something good for yourself. So, and it applies to everything that you do. So yeah, it's like the power of mind is like how powerful it is for you to be like to yourself, you've got this, you can do this, or just like change your mindset about little things. And I've done this for me before, where in terms of like, for example, people and situations, and I can look at it the negative way and be like, they're doing this to be selfish, like, why is this happening to me? Almost like victimizing yourself to be like, everything is against me. Sorry.
You're fine.
I'm getting really passionate.
She's punching the microphone now.
No, but you can say, you know what, this is happening to me because I'm learning, there's something better after this, and like, yeah. And I know this is not always the case, but it's almost like I read somewhere actually, it's like master your day to day, because tomorrow is like, I mean, I was gonna say never promise, but it's like tomorrow's got I can't even say it now. Tomorrow's got its own problem. for like in itself, that's so bad, but it's like
no, that makes sense.
Does that make sense?
I'm with you on that,
because like I had to learn that the hard way, because I'm always like planning ahead, but now I'm like, no, like just if something goes wrong today, focus on the day, like today and the journey here. I'm just like, okay, it's fine. I will make it to Sam's podcast. I will make it to my podcast. It's fine. And I'm here now. And we're doing this now. So all the little bumps on the road, just face it and just head straight. You'll get there. You will. It's like self-belief, but...
I am curious though, because some people listening might be a little bit skeptical. And they might say, oh, that just sounds a little bit too simple. And it is. Yeah. I think it is simple. However, for me, I guess the difficulty is someone listening who would be skeptical, they're just going, you should just think differently. Is that all there is to it? I mean, what tips would you give, sort of practical tips for people to maybe adjust that?
No, that's a really good question, because obviously like everyone's different, and what works for me will not work for them.
Right. What has worked for you?
What do you mean in terms of?
So in terms of you shifting your mindset, so when you might have gone, oh, I've got to work out today, when maybe you was thinking like that, whereas now you're actually you get quite excited about doing it.
Okay.
So what was the shift for you? Was there something that you can sort of pinpoint, actually, right, me doing this differently, that sort of helped me transition from it feeling like a chore to it feeling like perhaps a blessing or something that you get to do?
For me personally, what I've done is like, I always think back to my roots and be like, why am I doing this? Like, I know that sounds simple and being like really remember your why, but it's so true. When you know the reason of why you're doing what you're doing, it's almost like it reminds you. So for example, like, I can't be bothered to work out, I can't be bothered to exercise, but I know that I'm gonna feel so good afterwards. I know that this is good for my health. I know that once I move my body, like, endorphins comes out, I'm much happier. I know that I'm doing something for my health. And that to me just makes me feel, okay, I'm gonna do it, because it's gonna make me feel good in the end. And I know that maybe it's quite hard for people to like do that, because it's like what do you call it? It's like a war zone in their head almost. It's like, nah, but what's the point? Like, I don't want to do it. I guess obviously that's when you need to put like practical things, like,
I mean, because I'm sure you, when we spoke before, I can't remember if it was on the podcast or outside of it. Did you say you do like a gratitude?
I do.
Do you do it as a journal, or is that just a case of talking it aloud?
You know what?
How does that look for you?
Yeah, I journal. I've got my own like little notebook. I've got my own like journal Bible as well, because I do like reading like spiritual words and stuff like that from obviously the teachings on God in the Bible. So that's me. I just find like comfort in that, and that I know that everything will work out in the end. So obviously it's like mind reflection as well. So yeah, I write my own thoughts. I've got my own diary that keeps me like in structured way. Obviously like not everything goes to plan, but I know that once it's in there, in my own diary, in my notes, I don't want to let myself down. So it's almost going back to your own, I don't know, I want to say to your own, like, I don't know, I'm stuck. I've been a hand to hit it, but no, I don't know. I just feel like it's down to you, and almost like, what do you want to get out of it? So yeah, obviously if I see... So does the
journal help you narrow that down, and you sort of define what it is that you want and why you're doing it?
Yeah, no, it does. And I think when I write on my notes and I journal, it's almost like I'm reading my own story as an outsider person. It just makes me feel like, I don't know, it just makes me feel good that I reflect on these things, and then you learn from it as well. So like even little things that you learn on your daily basis, or you know, how your relationship work with other people, on your own success, or in your journey at work, like it just makes you feel like this is like my own story in a book. Again, I keep going back to books, that it's true. It's like, you know, it's your own journey, it's your own story to tell. But yeah, I just wish like I don't know. I guess it really depends on the person you are, and you just have to do what's best for you.
Yeah, and you do have to do what's best for you. I'm not sat here sort of expecting Claire to have the answers for absolutely everyone, but I think that's a trap a lot of people fall into is someone will say, look, this has worked for me, I'm doing great. It might not work for you. That's why you need to listen to sort of a number of people and sort of see and sort of test the field a bit and sort of go, right, actually, so for Claire, it might be a case of journaling, sort of a gratitude journal, and other things that might work for you as well, but someone else that might look completely different. It might I mean, actually, one that I was going to mention, that if you're watching on YouTube, sort of the affirmations, I think that for some people,
I've got one here as well.
Yeah, we've got both of them. I'm not going to attempt to pronounce them.
No. You pronounced them before.
Claire reprimanded me saying, no, that's not how you say that, Samuel. But it's, I think something like that, sort of little affirmations, sort of little reminders of why you're doing what you're doing, because it is very easy to get distracted in our daily lives. And I really actually rewind on the tape a little bit, but what you said about sort of the problems for today, like you don't know what problems are coming tomorrow. And I really like that, because I think, yes, we try and predict tomorrow, we try and predict next week, we try and predict next year, for goodness sake. However, there's so much unknown going on. Like, who could have predicted there was going to be a pandemic?
No, exactly.
You know, that would not have been on anyone's radar. So like, you almost need to deal with the shit that you've got going on now, and then that provides you with a fantastic platform for success. Which is what today's episode is about. Success.
Exactly. So I think you just have to focus on what you've got on today. And like, I know it's hard for us to not worry about the tomorrows, and like, if something goes wrong today as well, you think, oh, that's it, day ruined, moment ruined. But no, like, that's the thing. I think that's the strength of it, is like coming, learning from it, and actually trying to shift your mindset and say, you know what, it's fine, it was a bad moment, I'm gonna take that on my stride and gonna move on and like do what I can, do the best that I can, and that's it. That's all anyone can ask for. And
what you're saying aloud now, so mindset, because I'm just looking at what you said, and it goes from almost like a mechanism of mindset, then the power of thought to action.
I like it.
I mean, of course you like that, you wrote it.
I know.
But I think that's a fantastic sort of short, simple way of looking at it. Sort of, I guess, do you feel that you sort of, with the mindset, is that just observing it? Is that or is that almost like pre-programming yourself to go, right, look, I'm going to try and take things in a particular way?
Actually, it's
try and absorb them in a certain manner. I've learned
actually from observing my own mindset before. So how I would particularly act and think about certain ways, I almost peer assess myself, and I'm like, oh, that I shouldn't have said that, or next time when I come across the same situation, or when I come across the same person again, I will try to like, I don't know, like just divert it in a better way, or I don't know, like just do it in a much better way than that, because I think that's just how you learn. You learn from your past experiences and from what you've done before, but everyone learns from what they've done. If, for example, waking up during the day and you've done nothing, or just like taking your dog for a walk is all you've done, that's okay. Like, I don't think that's anything wrong to it. Like, I think everyone needs a bit of a me time, like a time to just reflect and like have a pause button. I think that's so important. A victory is still
a victory.
It is. And small wins, never ever overlook small wins, because I think that's what makes the bigger wins, and which I'm sure people have heard about that before as well. But I think it's quite nice for people to realize the smaller wins now. And I know that when I watch people as well, how their mindset have changed from before to now, it's so nice to see. It's really nice how people are like evolving, how people are like growing from before. I think there's a lot of changes happening, so are we?
I'm gonna ask you a question that's, I feel like, almost at the crux of this episode.
Okay.
What is success
for me, or just in general, or
take it however you want it.
Okay. success is what you make it. So it's, if your goal or if your definition of success is landing, I don't know, a title over in a workplace that you're happy at, then you're successful. If your success is, I got up in the I got up this morning, I made coffee, I made really nutritious breakfast, to me that's a success in itself. But then if, for example, later in the day things happen that you're not proud of, that's fine, because you're learning and it's like a next chapter. But yeah, like for me, success is what you make it. Success is what makes you happy. Success is your own definition of, this is where I'm happy at. This is what makes me feel good. Because it's not like success is not about money, how much money you earn. Success is not about, having so many trophies or medals, that kind of thing. If that is your definition of success,
maybe for some people.
Yeah, exactly. But this is what I mean. This is what I keep going back to. It's your own definition. Because a lot of people may think, I can't leave this job because then I'm not going to be successful. But if you're unhappy at that job that you think is what making you successful, you're not. Does that make sense? Like,
it definitely makes sense. So that sounds like your general definition.
Yeah.
I didn't push. No, but like I like that, because that almost then sets the scene, because you said success is what you make it.
Yeah.
So what does Klaire make of success? Like, what is success for Klaire?
Success for me, that's more of a personal touch, yeah. But for me, is where I'm happy I'm happier at. So the fact that I can be the best version of me for my family, for my friends, for the people around me, that to me is success. The fact that I'm alive today and I'm healthy and I'm putting time for energies like this, where I can send my message and story across to people, that to me is success, because I can help someone out. Someone will listen to this podcast and feel, you know what, I'm gonna do it, well, not what Klaire says, but I'm gonna take something from this and I'm gonna do what makes me happy, and I'm gonna take a leap of faith, I'm gonna come out of my comfort zone, and I'm gonna do something that I know will benefit not just for me but for other people. But yeah, for me it's just like where I can really be the best version of myself for others, because once that happens, I know that the people around me will, I just know that they'll be happy as well coming from me. I feel like I don't know what I'm saying anymore, but
I think that happiness just prepares you for so much.
Yeah.
And I don't think it's not a bubble.
No.
It's not like a place that you reach and it's like it's always going to be happy, because it's not like there are going to be shit days.
There are, and I've had some really bad ones.
Right.
I tell you that. Trust me, I'm not just a smiley face. I've cried like so many times, but obviously you have to learn from those. And if it's a bad day and if it's a bad moment, take it in. You have to allow yourself to feel what you feel. Because you learn from those things. Right,
and because I think, you do learn from those things.
Yeah.
And as well, I think for some people, it's happiness is like I'm happy all the time, and then as soon as something goes wrong, it's like a house of cards that just goes tumbling down. It's like, right, why bother? It doesn't have to be like that. I think the way you put that, you have to embrace those moments and learn from them.
But no one's happy all the time. No one's smiley all the time.
But the thing is, Instagram would tell you differently.
Social media will tell you that life is perfect, but it's not. So you just have to do what's best for you. You just have to do what feels right for you. And I think that's the most important thing. And I think, again, I'm going to say it again, and it's literally what you make it. Success is your own definition. Don't ever let anyone tell you you're not successful because this is what you're doing.
Right.
It's, you're happy, that's it. Like, you can take people's opinions on board and say thank you for your opinion, but no thank you.
And as well, I think, as much as about other people's opinions as well, it can also be what you tell yourself based on what you think society sees success as, or what society wants to see from you. There's not a set plan. There's not a time that you need to do something by. And I this is, listening to you today, it's actually, you talk about wanting to help people. In many ways, it's actually helped me, because I definitely struggle with this a bit, because I think to myself about, okay, I'm 27 now, believe it or not. I know.
Okay, well, it doesn't look it, so you're fine.
No, but not even in that regard. And like I have really struggled with this of being like, right, I'm at this age and this isn't where I expected to be. My plan was I should have been a doctor by now. I should have been during this pandemic, like on the front line, saving lives and doing all things like that. And I think, right, I'm not there. No, I'm really not. And however, redefining what I see as success, and actually in many ways, when I think back, that wasn't a success that was actually healthy for me. It was success was actually covering up a lot of my insecurities. And I think if reflecting on that, and actually what's been helpful for you, the journey, like that's helped me realize a lot of that. I think it does give you a great insight into actually what you think and what you feel, because I think we have this, I'm trying to think of a good way of putting it. I want to say picture, but it's not quite a picture of what we think. I think it's almost like an interpretation of what we think in our heads. Yeah. And it's not actually what's going on. And until you actually get a chance to try and talk to someone about that, that's the importance of friendships. If you don't actually get the chance to write it down on pen and paper, that's the importance of journaling. If you don't get the chance to come on a podcast, and I think this is a great format for that, because not a lot of people really have the chance to sit down, have a discussion, record it, because it's weird. What we're doing right now is weird. Like when you boil it down to what it is, like why are we doing this?
But that's what I said to you before. This is exactly what we're doing it, because people who listen, and I myself listen to podcasts. On the train to work, when I'm like feeling like crumbling down, or I'm just like, my mindset is not there, I listen to like good podcasts that I know that will uplift me. And that's why we're doing this, because someone out there will listen and will resonate with it. They will find comfort and they will get inspired by it. And like, yes, you can say that, oh, I'm 27 now, I'm 24 now, and a lot of people in different ages, I don't know, 24, there's some 22 years old I know are millionaires, but I can't compare myself to them, because their story is theirs, mine is mine alone. And I can always compare myself to others, or maybe not compare myself, but like in my own goals, be like, oh, I should have been there, like I should have reached it up. But you weren't happy at that time. You wouldn't know where you'd be if you were a doctor then. You wouldn't be doing this for people. You wouldn't be meeting me and like other people that you've done podcasts with. And I think that's what makes life worthwhile, is that you just don't know what's going to happen in the future. So, it's not really about I should have been there. It's like, this is my life. This is what I'm making my life to be. It's my own journey, and I'm going to create it. It's your own creation of life. And I think that's what makes you, you. And
definitely.
I think, it's so true. That's what makes you. This is your story. This is how I'm helping people. You're helping people right now. You're helping me unleash this story.
I don't think unleash is the right word. You put it so well.
Like, you're helping me, like,
it's like you're letting out a monster.
You're helping me, like, send this message to people who are scared to leave their current job, who are scared to feel like I can't change direction because I need the money, or I don't know what's going to happen to me in the future. But it just takes that time for you to sit down, pause, really think about where you want to take yourself and why you're doing what you're doing, because that's what, that's the point of life, really, isn't it? It's like, not everything's gonna be plain sailing. So I feel really good about this. I'm so happy that I get to share this, because I just know that someone will find comfort, because I'm the same. I'm putting myself in their shoes. I need comfort for someone. I can listen to them who's got the same mindset, you know, like-minded people coming together, making a change. And I think that's what we're doing now, really. So,
I hope so. Well, again,
yeah.
if you're saying like your plan was to help someone, I'm raising my hand right now because it has helped. And I think conversation like this can be a rarity.
It is.
Because we're too busy sort of living our lives.
Busy all the time now.
Too busy gossiping or worrying about, you know, something that's gone on. And let's have conversations like these. Like I think as much as I like having people on the podcast, maybe you don't like me. Maybe you don't. maybe you don't like the thought of having everything recorded. As much as sort of me wanting to have conversations with people, I hope as well, like maybe you listen and go, actually, I'm going to talk to my friend about this. I'm going to say, yes, I'm thinking about leaving my job. Or I'm thinking about starting going to the gym, or I'm thinking about... And that can be the spark that then actually brings it into reality.
Or I'm thinking about starting my own business.
There we go.
Do it. Honestly, like I would have never thought I would start my own small business. And like we said before, Combined Crafts is never going anywhere. No. It's not going to disappear. It's always going to be there. And like you said before as well, you had to take a break from Bookend. And everyone needs to take a break. So if you need to take a break, if you need to take time away from things that you love and things that you should be doing, do it. Like, you need it, because then you come back, and then you come back 10 times better and feeling great about yourself because you've accomplished all these things. And I think it's that's what makes it special. So because if it's there all the time, you won't feel all the good things.
Definitely.
Does that make sense?
And you can't be in this happy place all the time, because it's not sustainable.
No.
I want to make sure, because I'm looking at everything that you said, and I hope that we've covered most of the things that you wanted to say about success, unless was there any other bits that you wanted to add that we've said already?
I think I've covered everything. I think I'm happy with how I've tackled it. I think this time round we actually stick to it. I feel
think we've done really well. I think
I'm glad.
Maybe people listening going, no fucking way.
No, but I tried my hardest not to go off in a tangent.
I think you did really well. And to be honest, actually, this has been incredibly easy for me because I've almost just gone, right, Claire, take the floor. And I think yes, you've explained yourself very well. You've touched on some really quite meaningful and impactful topics that I imagine people listening, because I don't think it's a rare thing to feel what you felt in your job. I think probably a lot of people either are in that situation or have been in that situation, so it's definitely relatable. So
exactly.
I think you smashed it out the park.
Oh, good, thank you.
Covering that.
No, that's what I just wanted to do, because obviously, like, as a young adult myself, it's hard to, like you said before, like, you always think about what you should be doing, or I'm at this age now, or, you know, but that's their life, that this is my life, and people are engaged my age, people having families and babies, but if that's where they're happy at and that's where their life is, amazing, I'm happy for you. But for me, this is my journey, this is where I want to take myself, and like, you just have to do what's best for you, and I hope people will remind themselves, so that they may hear this 24/7 every day, but hearing it and applying it to yourself is totally different, and actually absorbing it and taking it in. So,
and I don't think sometimes it can be, because I've had that with a lot of things where I've almost heard it 100 times, and then I've read it in a book, or I've heard a conversation, or I spoke to someone, and then all of a sudden it sinks, because we're not as clever as we think we are. We're really not. And it does, almost you need to knock on the door 100 times, and then eventually it gets in.
Well, even if it takes, like you said, even if it takes 100 times to like knock it in there, and like for you to absorb it, that's totally fine.
So long as you keep knocking,
that's totally fine. Like that's not like a problem, because that, to me, it shows bravery as well, the fact that you're still trying, that you're here making it happen, making it work. that to me is success.
Yeah.
That to me is like, it's in its own success, because, you know, you're not giving up. That's the thing. That's the main thing. You're not letting, you know, what your not version of yourself win, because you know what you want from yourself. You know what you want to do. And yeah, like like the fact that you don't give up on that and you push forward, you do your best every day, whenever you, like, you know, when you wake up, that's, you know, you've done yourself proud in that moment already. So it's all the little things, and yeah, I just hope people will resonate with that. And like I said, I'm glad I helped you as well. But yeah, obviously, like, I'm not a shining perfect person all the time that exactly like you said.
No, but do you know what I think? Actually, you've almost sort of led me into what was going to be my final and most difficult question.
Oh no.
You ready?
Okay.
So, what do you need to work on most?
For me, a lot. For me, most. I think. I mean, there's a lot for us to work on, but personally, it's just the main thing for me is actually listening, and that's why I'm so happy I'm doing this now. But there's a difference between actually hearing things and attentively listening to people, because I've had problems like that with my relationships, with my family, and sometimes you could talk to me and I'm looking at you, but I'm not processing what you're saying. I feel like my mind is always somewhere else because I'm thinking about other things, or I'm not actually there. And I think when people when people need me to listen to them the most, I almost don't think it's so important. I think, oh, they're just unleashing this, but it's so important. It's so important to be heard, and I think that's why we're doing this now. So I want to be better at attentive listening, and I want to be better at actually understanding people because it's not just what works for me. It's not just about, oh, this is how I do things. Maybe you can try, or even sometimes I don't need to say anything. I can just sit here, take it in, and listen. And that's all they need, someone to listen to them. And I've learned that the hard way, and I'm still learning now. But yeah, working on just being there for people, I think, for me again.
It's very observant of you and very actually on it, like very honest of you.
I've learned so, like, and I think that's so important. Again, like I said to you, like, I'm not... I don't have it all the time. I'm not always 100%. I'm not always happy. I'm not always a smiley face. People always comment to me and say that you're always so smiley, like you're always so happy, but like I'm not. So it's always down to how you cope with it, how you learn from your previous mistakes, because I've learned from it myself, with my relationships, with people, with my family, with my friends. And yeah, so I want to listen to people more. I want to absorb it and just sit there and actually not say anything because they see me as, like I talk, and that's why I think I'm a guest here, because
that's why I said immediately yes for Claire, because I can just, however, I think that is a really difficult skill for us to have, because often, and I have to fight myself at it all the time. So when I'm sat here listening to a guest, I'm trying not to be in my own head. I'm trying to actually go, right, what is Claire trying to say? What does she want to get across? However, it's a lot easier for me to sit in my own, because particularly as well, this is almost like a conversation on steroids, because I know it's being recorded. Like, imagine if we're sat here talking and then all of a sudden I run out of things to say. I think for a lot of people that's the fear, is right, shit, what if when she stops talking
I've got a mind blank? Well, that's what happened to me earlier, wasn't it? So,
but you got through it.
But that is the flow of conversation.
To be honest, I mean, you said that, but I pretty much forgot, because I think it probably lasted about 2 seconds. But that 2 second pause, it feels like an eternity.
It does.
It really does, particularly as well if it's like you're dealing with something emotional or like a sensitive topic. Like it's like, wow, they've just said all this stuff and I'm sat here
in my own head.
What now? So I definitely don't think you're alone in that, but the fact that you're aware of it, it means that you probably already started to work on it, so good for you.
Yeah, no, I need to. I work, I learned the hard way, and I think people learn all the time, and I think that's the important thing, is that you take that on board, and instead of your ego being like, take it, work on it, and accept that you've done a mistake. Do you know?
Yeah.
And that was so hard for me to own up to my own mistakes before, but now I'm learning, and I think it's so important to do so. Because it's so not easier, but much better for your relationships to flow. You understand people, you learn, and in the next time that situation happens, it's handled much better.
Do you know what I'm thinking of? Because we're almost finished. I mean, there's literally 4 minutes to go,
okay,
so
perfect.
We'll close off.
Yeah.
Though you're sort of saying about how much you want to sort of work on your listening and really being present in the moment. I wonder, maybe not the next, because I feel I'm definitely up for doing repeat, because I feel you've got a lot to say and a lot for people to hear as well. Yeah. So I'm definitely up for doing more episodes. Yeah. However, I wonder if at some point in time you could either host this podcast or host your own, you could have a combined podcast that sort of runs alongside.
I would love to. I would.
Or is that going to be a bit too much to take on? So
actually now you're making me question my own beliefs and be like, take a leap of faith, Claire, do it. Because once that opportunity opens and you let that, you open that door, you just don't know what good things are going to come out of it. I'll keep that in mind.
But I wonder, but maybe sort of doing a combined, then maybe that's a bit too much admin and work. But listen, if you ever wanted to go, right, actually, I'm gonna interrogate Sam. I'd be more than
how the tables have turned.
I'd be more than happy to do that. And if you wanted to use that as a way of sort of improving and practicing your ability to listen to people, I'd be more than happy to do that, because I think
that is very true.
I think as much as you're saying that's something you need to work on, I think I see the fact that you're good at it, because there are just moments where I'm like, Claire's really listened to that. So maybe you're being a bit hard on yourself, but I think in those moments where it's with people that you love and care about, you want the best for them, it's a difficult thing to do. It is. So
because when it's your loved ones, you want what's best for them, and you just say what you think they should do, but you need to really listen to what they're saying.
I heard a great line, we're really running out of time, but I heard a great line that you might like so in those moments, those really difficult moments, it's do you want advice or do you want comfort? Okay. That's a great question to ask, because I think sometimes we're over keen to advise them and say, this is what you need to do this has worked for me. Yeah. Or do you just want me to tell you I love you?
Yeah, and comfort.
And just give you a cuddle and just be there and shut the fuck up.
Yeah. Yeah.
But that's pretty much it. I've really enjoyed it. I really enjoyed it.
I feel we've done well.
Yeah.
We've addressed everything that we wanted to address, and I hope that listeners will enjoy it and take something really valuable from it.
Perfect. I feel like that's a great closing statement. Unless there's anything else you wanted to add?
Nope, I'm good.
Squeeze in there. Thank you so much for coming, Claire. And I'm looking forward to the next episode where you interview me at some point.
Thank you so much.